What is an outdated word or phrase an older family member uses that makes your brain hurt? My late father, born in 33, used to say he'd been dicked by the dangling dong of destiny when something went wrong that was out of his control. That's clearly not used enough. That's just awesome. I'm strongly considering naming my band Ducked by the Fickle Finger of Fate. Edit. After further review, we are slightly modifying the name to Funked by the Fickle Finger of Fate, as we are a jazz funk fusion band. Thank you for your consideration. My Nana says that really turns me on about anything. Good ice cream, a movie, music, doesn't matter. Edit. Thank you for all the awards. Nana is shocked this many people think she's funny. She said I'm a star. Is your Nana seeing anyone? My mother used to say he's got his wobbly boots on whenever she saw someone drunk. Aw, that's actually kinda cute. 5050 chance my mom is gonna say and we're off like a dirty shirt when leaving an establishment. I kinda like it though. My dad used to say and we're off like a herd of turtles if we took too long to get ready to leave. My dad would say, off like a turd of hurdles. His favorite joke is switching the first letter of a couple words in common phrases. That is called a spoonerism. I remember my brother once brought home an English test on these types of writing devices. In a list of phrases where you had to identify what was being used, he had put down that booze and jeers was a spoonerism. Anyone else get told they were cruising for a bruisin' as a kid or just me? Near constantly. That or it was pointed out that I was tap dancing on a landmine. This reminded me that I was always told I was skating on thin ice. Buster. Well, my grandpa doesn't call Brazil nuts Brazil nuts. For the curious, Brazil nuts were called near toes as early as 1896 according to Wikipedia. n.m.wikipedia.org. I always wondered what my GMA was talking about. I've heard her say that a few times but didn't want to ask lol. I'm so relieved now that I know she just wanted nuts. It could have been so much worse. My mom is 71, she says things are cool. But she pronounces it like Kuhl, or Kuhl. Your mom is Eric Cartman. I wonder if Op respected her authority. You can call me anything you like except late for dinner. I use this all the time and my wife tells me that's something only old men say. If this is wrong, I don't want to be right. Davenport to mean couch. Apparently, it was a name brand couch back in the day. It's still a Chesterfield in parts of Canada. There is a whole Family Guy bit about this. Does that look like a divan to you? It's on the Davenport. Next to the Chesterfield. Holy hell, I just realized my mom referred to footstools ottomans as hassocks and I never knew why until you all brought these up. It's been 30 plus years and it feels like I've completed a side mission. The devil's been beating his wife when the sun is out but it's still raining. I heard this a lot growing up but apparently some people have never heard of it. In Jamaica we say the devil and his wife are fighting. In Korea, we say a tiger is getting married. In Dominican Republic we say a witch is getting married. In Australia we say it's raining and the sun is out. Edit. Jesus, you liked my shitty joke. This totally reminded me of that one joke I heard. In England if you've got an earring in your right ear it means you're gay. That's weird, cause in Australia it's when you've got your cock up another man's ass. My dad used to say that'll put lead in your pencil. My gramps always says that he doesn't understand why people go to strip clubs because you get all that lead in your pencil with nobody to write to. Well, that's when I go home and write in my diary, Gramps. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Edit. Ha 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 ha, I can't believe this is my most upvoted comment. Thanks for the awards, kind people. Unter Dankfist. Edit. Translation, yay corns ready. Went into a speed shop the other day and overheard the shop owner talking to someone on the phone. Man was 60 plus and said unironically catch ya on the flip side daddy-o to end the conversation he was having. He sounds like a cool cat. Real hep. My grandma would say bull feathers instead of bullshit. Bullpucky. My dad still talks about the Japs. Like he fought in World War II. But he's too young and also not American. I got a good laugh out of this one. Till I'm an older family member. There was an older gentleman, about 70, that I used to work with that looked at me and said his butter done slid off his biscuit, referring to another coworker acting crazy. I'm in southern Kentucky. When I moved to Kentucky, it took me ages to get used to I don't care to meaning I'll do it as opposed to I don't want to do that. I've also only heard I miss not seeing you here in Kentucky. Slight stray from question, my English professor says heavens to Betsy. Nope, perfect example. I just wanted to make sure my question wasn't so long that it got the mod hammer. My mom was not a fan of colorful language. I can't recall ever hearing an F-bomb escape her lips. But if she was mad at someone, she would say they can just go piss up a rope. I still don't know WTF she meant. If one pisses up a rope, he or she will get piss all over themselves. So my sweet mama was telling people to piss on themselves. I knew I got it from somewhere. Not offensive, just weird. My dad still says sipping the sauce instead of drinking lol. Drinking the wobbly pops. My grandmother always said I was a fart in a skillet. Along with wishing with one hand and shitting in another, see which one fills up first. What's the context for fart in a skillet? I want to know how to use that one properly. It worked, for her, as me being indecisive or hyper. So if I ran off to do something else, she would shake her head and say, Lord, look at you, just like a fart in a skillet. My grandma used to say plate full of piss to describe something uninteresting. Granny, did you watch Matlock last night? I did. It was a plate full of piss. No idea about origin or anything. Foul-mouthed grannies are just part of growing up in Appalachia. Whenever we looked ratty, my grandpa would say, you kids look like a couple of piss holes in the snow. My grandpa likes to use the phrase not my monkey, not my circus edit, to everyone asking if he's Polish. We're Latino. He says it in both Spanish and English, no es mi circo, no son mis manos. I didn't realize until writing it out that he flips the order in English. You pay peanuts, you get monkeys. Hire a bunch of clowns and you get a circus. I hate when old people ask, can you whack this off for me for $20? Anything is possible though. Edit. Wasn't expecting my comment to resonate with so many. Thanks for the interweb points. Have a great weekend everyone, and remember, don't whack off too much. There's a hilarious clip of a British talk show host asking an actor if he had to beat off a lot of men to get the role. They seemed completely clueless what that meant. Maybe beat out would have made more sense. When you put something in your mouth it's really hot and react. K grandma, well it wasn't cooked on a F sewing machine, edit bad spelling, but then edited it back to incorrect spelling because people enjoy it that way. My father says, and I quote, "Fascism manizzle." Answers the phone yellow. You'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel. Referring to the TV remote as the clicker update, I know why it's called a clicker, or in New England a clicka. This has been established a few times below. To answer demographic questions, while I lived in Boston for 20 plus years, my exposure to the term the clicker came from my grandfather who lived in NJ. When talking about drinking, my dad says I got plowed the other night rather than I got drunk the other night. Oh. How the colloquialisms have changed. When I was younger, describing someone as lit meant drunk, not cool, was confused for a good while lol. Similarly, I always heard of someone being loaded as someone being rich. But apparently my parents grew up with loaded meaning drunk.